You know, years ago, and because I'm old, we established I'm a 68-year-old great-grandmother. I happened to, I'd met Reverend Copeland before, but ran into him at Jason's Deli and had this little conversation about his considering a run for lieutenant governor. And I certainly encouraged that at the time. And I just kind of feel proud when I see, how he's come along through his political career. And it's so good to have him here today as a Representative Donnie Copeland, currently serving in the House of Representatives, and a candidate for State Senate District 34. Okay? So if you'll come up, please. Thank you. We're glad you're here.
Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. And like Teresa said, we met when I ran for lieutenant governor, and I had no clue, to show you how ignorant I was. I started actually campaigning the day that I filed for office, and but I ended up winning 65 out of 75 counties. I tell people I just didn't win the right ones, and I didn't know anything about Benton County, but I found out the next morning when I went to bed I was up by 3,400 votes, and I woke up and I was down by 3,400. I learned that lesson. And so then I ran for the House and really enjoyed my first year in the House of Representatives. And I finally came to a realization. And that was, and I tell this, and RD and I have something in common here, is I've knocked on so far about 4,300 doors personally. And I started in October, and I knock about 100 doors a day, 6 days a week. In fact, I feel like I'm missing out right now because I'm supposed to be knocking doors right now. And I've worn out some good shoes and a lot of socks, but it's been a great time. I haven't had a shotgun pulled on me, but I did have a dog attach himself to my belly button, and me and the guy just kept talking, and he kept telling me his dog didn't bite him. He was real friendly. But it's been wonderful meeting people, and here's I think a great tribute to Arkansans. Out of 4,300 people I've knocked on their door, I've awakened people that worked shift work and apologized and even wrote them notes and apologizing. I've interrupted people's dinner and all types of things. And literally out of 4,300 people, three people have been rude. And they were not real rude. They didn't curse me out or anything. So it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience, and I wouldn't take anything for it. My reason for running for the state senate is because of my frustration with the House of Representatives, to be quite honest. When the private option, Obamacare, Medicaid expansion, some people have a problem with me saying Obamacare when I relate to Obamacare, Medicaid expansion. See, I'm like Marco Rubio, I keep saying it. But what I found, if you'll go to whitehouse.gov, the people that created the program will tell you that they tried to get people to buy Obamacare and they wouldn't buy it. And so when they couldn't get people to buy Obamacare, they had another leg of it was they would expand the welfare state by putting healthy working age people on government insurance with no premium, no copay, no deductible. And we titled ours the private option. Now, here's the interesting part. If this was such a great thing and everybody should have done it, if you look at a map, we're the only southern state to have done that. We're the only southern state that took the Medicaid expansion money and expanded Medicaid. Here's my problem with it. I work with the poor. I have a nonprofit I've had going for 4 years. In fact, I have one of my employees here today, Michael Johnson, who's actually a constituent of mine, and I met him, and I was so impressed with him, I hired him. And he's done a tremendous job, and he since then started his own nonprofit where he's helping prisoners reentry back into society. And so he's doing great work. But my problem was in the House, I realized quickly, is that people get elected and then they get to Little Rock or they get to Washington and they drink the Kool-Aid. And what happens, you start doing what lobbyists, you start doing what big money wants you to do. And here's the fact, is that the president wanted to expand the welfare class, and he got us to bite the bait. I wasn't in the House when it happened. And so I said, we're going to end this. So me and 15 of my colleagues in the House voted against the reauthorization of this, and it failed. And so I realized the only way to stop this thing, because it's not getting better. Now we're looking for $800 million to plug a hole. Now, here's an interesting thing about that $800 million that they're looking for now is they have found it in 2 departments of one agency, DHS, 2 departments of one agency. That's $800 million. Do you realize that's $250 in every Arkansan's pocket? That pay a lot of people's car insurance or somebody's car note for 1 month. And so, and that's just going to continue to grow and continue to flourish and go downhill. So my thing is we need 9 people in the Senate to stop this travesty. And here's what I say to people when I knock on their door. We need Republicans to not just campaign conservative, but when they get to office to act like and vote like a Republican and like a conservative. It's not personal with me. I don't dislike anybody. Certainly don't hate anybody. And my opponent said, after she voted for it, she said, they're going to hate me. I don't hate her. I love her to death. But it doesn't matter if it's my brother, my sister, or my mama. If they vote for this, I'm not going to vote for them. And if I get a chance, I'm going to run against them. Because here's the thing, is every one of us, 80% of us, in my district at least, are against Medicaid, Obamacare, the private option. They're not against poor people getting what they need. And here's the biggest problem with the Medicaid expansion. It has hurt the people that need Medicaid the most. It has hurt the people that need those services the most. And now those people are having to contend with 200,000 people. Last thing I'll tell you is this. How much time do I have? A minute?
About 2 minutes.
Okay, good. So here's the last thing I'll tell you. That if you take away the private option, there would be 40,000 people that signed up for pure Obamacare in our state. The other 200,000 are on the private option. And the president knew that this was not viable. People wouldn't buy it. So he dangled this money out in front of the states, and we took the bait. It's time to spit the bait out. And so I would appreciate your support. I thank you so much for everything that you do, for your being involved in local politics and national politics. And thank you, Teresa, and thank every one of you.
Any questions? Any questions? All right.
Now, the federal money that we get, that's just limited to a couple of years, though, right? Maybe 3 years?
It's 3 years,
Yeah.
and then we start paying.
Right.
Yeah. And this thing about free money, the government has no money. The only money the government has is the money they take out of your pockets. There is no free money. There's no such thing.
I know.
You had a question?
Yes, sir, I just wanted to ask, you said something like a figure of $900,000, and then you said they found it in 2 departments.
800 million.
I beg your pardon. 800 million, you said they found it in 2 departments of the DHS? I don't understand what...
There's 2 areas of the whole agency that they're targeting to find over 5 years. They're going to save $800 million. And here's my contention is look at every department, look at every place. Why do we continue to bow for a little money for a short amount of time? Karen, you can attest to this. This will amaze you. Did you know we only get 10% of our educational funding from Washington?
It's less than 10, and Washington shouldn't make 100% of the policy when they only give us 10% of our own.
That's right.
But here's the thing. If you go with my number of 10, we pay 90% of the bill. No one else in this room would you pay 90% of the freight and let somebody else make all the decisions. Let them have their 10%. And I promise you, we can find the other money and make our own decisions. So the bottom line is there's $800 million that they're trying to save to shore up Medicaid. Medicaid was broken. There's no doubt. There's work to be done on Medicaid. But the answer is not taking federal money. The borrower is servant to the lender. And we've taken that money, and then we're beholden to the federal government. You know, they can do whatever they want to with us. They've got it hanging it over our heads.